Mystic Mountain.
But it's weird, and we've gotten to where we can sit outside at night at the fire. We can sit outside at night and look up on the mountain, and we can actually spot them. We can spot them up there watching us. We sat and watched the tree sway one night. It swayed all the way over one way, and it swayed back, and when it swayed back, you could see the image, the dark image of it sitting right in the tree watching us.
Into the deep and dark holes.
But I did find a footprint yesterday, a nice sized footprint, probably about 16 inches long by about 8 inches wide. And it was weird. It was like the way it was facing our house, like they had been standing up there for a while, just watching over the house. And this is what I like about it.
I know we're not alone.
They watch us. They study us. If they meant us any harm, I think they would have done it by now. As many times as I have to go up on that mountain to get the spring, if they meant me any harm, they would have already shown it by now. I do believe.
Right.
But I'm looking forward to you coming up here, though. I really am, and investigating for yourself. I think you'll find it pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I'm super stoked. I can't wait to get up there. It's gonna be an awesome time.
Through this lonesome valley, over the river stone.
Heading up to Mystic Mountains now, starting the day investigation. So y'all hang out with us. We'll have a good time. Out. Alright, we're going up the hill. Oh, Mike, he's up there waiting on us already. We're getting there. Steep, lots of terrain. Lots of steep terrain here. At the left, it's resistance. Oh yeah, that is a gnarly looking dude over there.
He's got stuff going on with it, then it can
You hear that?
You heard that?
Yeah, it was
Sound like a rock.
something just threw a rock or a limb dropped up there.
It sound like a rock.
Huh. All right, so as we're ascending, we're once again finding another singular burnt looking tree. Nothing. No, I mean, if it was a lightning strike, this thing would be exploded.
Yeah, I feel like something would be split.
But it's just burnt up, and there's nothing burnt up around it at all. We have no laurels in the soil to be killing it. The only thing I can think of that would maybe do it would be all the black walnuts leaching huge amounts of tannins. But if that was the case, we'd be seeing a heck of a lot more than just this one singular one, because it's everywhere.
This tree's dead too, the note. It's not it's not living anymore.
Yeah, it's definitely dead. Let me shoot this up there a little bit for you guys. Like, I don't know. But it's really weird. So we're up here, kind of following the stream. Big old boulder fields here. That looks really cool. Keeps going up. But most importantly, we got a big old chunk of quartz right there, boy. Like I said, the further we go up, look at this arch. Look at this.
Right there?
Oh.
That looks like it right there.
Oh, okay, hold on. Look right here. Big old breakup up there.
Yeah.
Huge arch coming down to what I would say traditionally you would probably call a blind. You know? Further we go up, the thicker it gets. Here's just a little bit more from my angle. We went up and found a field, but you know, like the mystery of this hay bale is, turn it around because the gimbal has been acting up since the higher elevation we got. You tell me how it's getting through all that to get here. How? I don't see it.
Joe.
My name's Jim, but I appreciate the thought. Okay, that's fair. I find you guys annoying too.
Julie.
Okay, Julie. Talk to me about this frame.
Manifest.
No.
No, you don't have my permission to necessarily manifest, Julie.
It'd be nice to have somebody go up there with me, for once, and just see it for, not just see it through my camera.
Do you know the dangers lurking in the dark? The demons and the devils that you harbor in your heart. But light shines in the dark. You'd be cutting, is it worth the ultimate price? My light shines in the dark.
Welcome to the Night's Watch, everybody. How are we all doing tonight? As I start this recording, kind of after the fact, sorry, movie magic is dead. But, I sit here and I contemplate sometimes the power of community, and what does it mean to you? For me, it makes what I do totally worth it. It really does. Because, I love meeting people. Even when I go to a conference or something like that, I could care less about the speakers, and what they've got to say. I mean, if it's somebody that I just really want to hear, then yeah, that's different. But generally speaking, I'm not really there for that. I am there to hang out and meet all you guys, meet all the beautiful people, get to see my friends that I do this stuff with, and get to meet all the people that are out there in the audience when they come and say hi. I live for that. I really do. It is the best part of all of it, really, is meeting people and getting to hear you guys talk and hear your stories and things like that, and sometimes I'm given some really interesting stories and I love it. I'm working with multiple people, trying to get some of that stuff on track, as we speak, but also I'll have a special place in my heart for the very first one that I got. And, you know, we made a little video out of that. Granted, I messed up on the settings and yada yada. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's there. It exists. You can watch it. It's really cool. In fact, tonight's guest is Mr. Mike. You guys know Mike, right? Mystical Mountain Creations. You know, moderator, him and Jenny. Anyways, so they were the very first, like, really, like, substantial story that I was given, and I was just like, wow, you got all that going on? Like, holy crap. Wow, that's amazing. And, you know, tonight we're going to hear about some of it. You know, there's so much meat on the bone still. You know, we're barely scratching the surface, but, you know, it's still awesome. It's still amazing. Like, there's all the evidence that I've been given by Mike and Jenny is just mind blowing. They've got a lot going on their property, a lot. You know, and if you can tell that, you know, there is so much going on there that, you know, I went down there with my set of guys and we went and filmed Enigma 3, or at least that's how I refer to it as. For you guys, it'll be Enigma in the Mystic Mountains. So we're going to talk to Mike some more tonight. We're going to hear a little bit more of the reasons, you know, that we decided to go out there, me and my team. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the preview. I hope that you guys will want to catch that when it drops. But yeah, so until that time happens, let's listen to Mike and see what he's got to say, shall we? So let's do this. All right, guys. So without further ado, let's get our good buddy Mike up here. Mike, what's up, man?
How's it going, Jim?
Oh, it's going pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing pretty good.
Oh, good, man. That's good to hear. Now, Mike, you are the head of Mystic Mountain Creations. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? What is it, and what do you guys do?
Mystic Mountain Creations, we started this about 4 years ago. Actually, the wife started it. She wanted to start making tumblers, and I thought it was a big joke. And she started it, and next thing I know, she started selling them. And so we got it kicking, we got it rolling. I joined in. I do a majority of the ink work. She does a lot of the custom work. This is her work.
Right.
This is kind of work that Jenny enjoys doing.
Yeah.
And me, I'm more of an ink type person. So
beautiful.
But yeah, but we are starting up a website. We haven't got it up yet. It is in the process of being made. It's going to be mysticalmountancreations.com. You can go on there. There'll be a pre-selection of pre-made cups that you can order from. Cups will run anywhere from $35 to $65, depending on what you want. But come check us out. Once it gets up there, give us a few more weeks, and then come check us out.
Right.
I think you'll like what we have to offer.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be done by the time this airs.
We do have the cheapest prices on tumblers. If you go check out other tumblers on Etsy, and $5 from every tumbler we sell, we donate. We just donated a bunch of cups to an organization here in North Carolina where we live. We lived through Hurricane Helene. We were here, and we helped an organization out that's rebuilding. It's called Rebuilding the Hollers Through Hell or High Water. And we donated a bunch of cups to them to sell to help buy materials to rebuild houses and stuff like that. But we're starting a new organization that once we get our website up, we'll be donating $5 from every cup we sell will be donated to children with autism. That is one of our biggest one of our biggest donations. We stopped donating for a while until, the Hurricane Helene victims got taken care of. Now we're going back. Once we get our website up, we're going back to donating to children with autism. So
Nice.
there'll be a place there on the website. We're working on that. I talked to a person developing the website today about it, about having where it comes off automatically, goes to wherever we're donating it to. That way we don't see it. It'll be going right to the place where the donations are going.
Awesome.
So.
Awesome. And, let me just gush on you for a minute here. Like, I have my own cup from you guys too,
Yes,
Granted,
you do.
The green screen's kind of messing things up a bit, but it's my favorite print from my merch store. And, if anybody that's out there watching this in the future, if you have like your own channel with merch and all that, I highly, highly recommend, and please, I beg you, send, images to you guys through email or whatever, and I'll have all the links and stuff in the description. But, send copies and prints of your merch so that way, you guys can buy, your favorite merch from your favorite podcasters, and it be made by somebody that's in the community, that's a small business, that's, a part of all of this stuff. And, part of the proceeds go to a great cause, so if you don't do that after hearing me talk to you guys about this, then shame on you. But anyways.
And Jim, that you could also order from us too to go inside your shop to sell.
Right.
Don't forget. That's how we got started with a lot of our businesses, through podcasts.
Yeah.
No. Any podcasters out there wants their logo on a cup, give us a shout. Give us a shout. We can do it. We've done it for Jim. We've done it for Eye of Jupiter podcast. We've done it for Magical Journey podcast. So if anybody out there, we're looking for business.
Heck yeah.
MysticalMountainCreations.com. Give us a few weeks to get our website up.
That's right. And, like I've always said, when I promote your cup on my show, when you guys go to the Facebook or the website, whatever method we end up using here, you don't have to go there to buy like my cup. You can buy a cup with a print of whatever y'all want.
Exactly. We do custom whatever you want. We do inks. We do micas. We do decals. Whatever you want. We can put pictures of your loved ones on your cups.
Awesome.
So I have done that. I have done that for people. Whatever. If you want a in memory of cup, we do those. So give us a shout. And you can also find us on Facebook at Mystical Mountain Creations, and you can find us on TikTok on Mystical Mountain Creations. You'll see some of our work on there. I post all of our work on both of our sites. So,
heck yeah. So y'all get out there and do it. Get on it. So, it's so good out that cup too, let me tell you. All right. So, all right. Now, let's see here. How do we get into this? I guess I would say that, basically part of like the impetus of you guys kind of getting involved, like within this community in that space, is that you also have a lot of experiences that you've been throughout your life, right?
Oh, yes, definitely. I've had a lot of high strangeness follow me everywhere I go. Started when I was young, 8 years old. My dad finding me in the middle of the front yard, not knowing how I got out there. Doors locked, windows locked. We'll get into that later. But yeah, it was from there to paranormal experiences everywhere I've lived. And come to find out, it was me causing all that the whole time. So it's a lot of high strangeness, it seems like it follows me everywhere I go, the high strangeness does. We moved to North Carolina to get away from some stuff, and now we have a family of Bigfoot living behind us, and Jim will get into that. We've sent videos to Jim, structures that are being built right behind our house, footprints, even some photos of alleged Bigfoot.
Yes.
So
there's a lot going on out there, and generally, tonight, that's kind of what we're going to focus on, is because that, you know, you guys actually have so much Bigfoot activity going on out there that, you know, Enigma 3, whenever we go and shoot that in October, like,
Yeah.
you know, me and my team, we're going to y'all's house, because trust me out there, folks, there's a lot going on, and, you know, I'll edit things in and sprinkle things in there.
And the thing is all this Bigfoot activity started right after Hurricane Helene.
Right. Yeah. That's
We
where I
had
was going.
nothing going on here until Hurricane Helene came through.
Right.
And shortly after Hurricane Helene came through, we started hearing whoops at night. We'd be sitting in the living room hearing whoops coming from the woods. It went on for 2-3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing but whoops. Every night we recorded. We got recordings of them. And now it's like they decided to make their home right behind our house.
Right.
Reason being is I'm very high energetic person. I got a lot of energy. And where we live at, we have a lot of quartz under the ground, a lot of water running under the ground, a lot of springs. All this energy is what attracts the high strangeness, the cryptids, the paranormal.
Right. For sure. Now, if you don't mind, kind of like walk us like kind of down the timeline of the beginning of, like, you know, things are normal, and then all of a sudden Hurricane Helene hits, and then, you know, kind of walk me through the events of what's been kind of going on out there.
Within the past year?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Well, everything was calm around here when we first moved here. We moved here back in June of 24. Mm-hmm. Hurricane Helene came through in September. Mm-hmm. And there's something about this place that we bought. We moved up here from Florida. And there was something about this place when we first saw it, it just kind of drew us to it. I mean, we looked at several different places between here and Asheville. Mm-hmm. And even, what was that other place that got destroyed? A lot of places that got destroyed from Hurricane Helene, we were looking at places, houses. Yeah. But we were drawn to this place here. Mm-hmm. And when Hurricane Helene hit, we sat and watched trees fall all around us. I mean, tornadoes and wind and rain, and it was terrible. We didn't know if we were going to make it or not. And we didn't know how bad it actually was, because we'd lost our electric, we'd lost our phones, we'd lost everything. We didn't know what was coming our way, how bad it was going to get. We just dealt with it. Mm-hmm. And then the next day, you know, neighbors came around and said, this bridge was out, that bridge was out, and, you know, you got mudslides here. And I'm like, how bad was it? And then we got us some radio and got on the news, found out just how bad it got. Well, shortly after that, just a couple of days after that, we were spending a lot of time outside around the fire. We didn't have no electric, no phones. It was just like living off grid. It was actually nice. Right. We lived like that for a couple months, and it was actually rather nice. But it was weird, because after a few days, we started hearing the whoops. Mm-hmm. So we started sitting outside. And started recording the whoops. And it just kept on and kept on. It was every single night. And then a few months down the road, we started noticing changes in the, what would we call it? The geography of the mountain behind our house. We have a gravity-fed spring. And I have to go up there every couple months and clean the spring out and make sure the pipes are running smooth and everything. But I noticed when I went up there first time I went up there, everything has changed up there. Mm-hmm. Last year when I was going up there, I used to have to take a machete with me and chop my way through to get to the spring. Well, this year I can see the spring from the bottom of the mountain. And it was just totally different scenery. It was just like all the foliage is gone, nothing but ferns on the ground. And then I started noticing structures. Mm-hmm. These teepee-looking structures built all over the place. I sent Jim the videos. Yes. Of me going through there. But it's weird. And we've gotten to where we can sit outside at night at the fire. We can sit outside at night and look up on the mountain, and we could actually spot them.
Mm-hmm.
We could spot them up there watching us. We sat and watched the tree sway one night. It swayed all the way over one way, and then it swayed back. And when it swayed back, you could see the image, the dark image of it sitting right in the tree watching us.
Right.
And they don't bother us. I've been up there several times. I was just up there yesterday at the edge of the wood line, right there at the base of the mountain. And but I did find a footprint yesterday, a nice size footprint, probably about 16 inches long by about 8 inches wide.
Mm-hmm.
And it was weird. It was like the way it was facing our house, like they had been standing up there for a while, just watching over the house. And this is what I like about it. They don't bother me. They watch us. They study us. If they meant us any harm, I think they would have done it by now. As many times as I have to go up on that mountain to check the spring, if they meant me any harm, they would have already shown it by now. I do believe.
Right.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to you coming up here, though. I really am, and investigating for yourself. I think you'll find it pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I'm super stoked. I can't wait to get up there. It's going to be an awesome time. Now,
it'd be nice to have somebody go up there with me, for once, and just see it for, not just see it through my camera, but see it for themselves and say, I've seen this before,
right.
And even with the footprints, you go back there, and what's so bad about it is there's so many leaves on the ground. When they step, you see the imprints of the feet when they step, but you can't really get a really definite footprint. Say, okay, that's a Sasquatch. Right. I'm not going to sit there and say, okay, this is a Sasquatch footprint when I can't make a cast of it showing detail or definition. But I do have on the video, I do point out the toes to a footprint that I had found on that video. I pointed out the toes, and but they were just mashed down in the grass, and I'm not going to sit there and say, okay, this is Sasquatch. I'm just hoping it is, because I don't see anybody with that big of feet walking around on the mountain. So
yeah, so there's a lot going on up there for sure, man, and I can't wait. But, like, just as a small aside, if you don't want me to say this, then I'll take it off in post. But, the first listener submission that I have, that's you guys, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep. So what's interesting is, like when you guys talk about, the audio recordings, and I'll have to put that back on here too for this episode, because it's super interesting. You guys got some really good audio that you captured up there.
Did you get those other audio recordings I sent you?
I think so. Yeah, I'll put them all up on here.
Yeah.
We'll edit and splice things all up in it, and yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on up there, you know, and what the pictures that you've sent me, you know, like asking me questions about what I see, like when I crop in and, you know, put filters on things, like just from the phone, you know, I bring out some really interesting things, and it's like, yeah, I think you kind of got something going on out there,
I
man.
like in your opinion. That's why I send you everything I find or everything I catch. I always send it to you. I don't want to come out and say, okay, this is a Sasquatch. I want other eyes on it. I'm not the type of person that's going to come out and say, okay, this is that.
Right.
You know, I want other eyes. I want people to say, okay.
Right. Right. And you know, like, to be fair, like, you know, I'm nobody. I'm just somebody that comes on the internet and talks about things, you know. In my opinion, yeah, I mean, it looks like something, you know, but I don't, even like when even on Enigma 1, right, when I show like Bigfoot from the what I saw, I'm like, you know, I put out the caveat, like, look, maybe it's something, maybe it's nothing, like, you know, I know what I experienced that day, and in that moment, what I saw.
Right.
But, you know, I can't convince anybody to be like, oh, yeah, you know, because sometimes I show people stuff, they're like, nah, you got nothing. I'm just like,
I took a walk up on the ridge one day last week and was walking back down and happened to glance over, and it's standing there just looking at me. The first time I've actually seen it, you know, not just catching it after reviewing a video, but actually being there and looking at it. And it stood a good 8 to 9 foot tall. This one did. I know we have some juveniles. And you saw the picture of the one juvenile.
Yeah.
It looked like it wasn't probably not even a year old. I mean, it looked very small. But this one, it's 8 to 9 foot tall. It had to be the daddy. But he was huge. He just stood there and looked at me, and I blinked, and it was gone. And that's all it took was me to blink, and it disappeared. It's so weird how they can camouflage themselves the way they do. They let you see them when they want you to see, them. But then once that's it. That's all you get. It's weird.
Yeah, for sure. It's very interesting how they do that. Oh, you froze up a little bit on me there, bro. Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Oh, okay. You were freezing up.
I'm good. No, I'm just sitting here sitting still.
Oh, okay. All right. So, yeah, and so anyways.
That's a ninja talent I have.
What's that?
That's a ninja talent I have. I can
sit so still that you look like your camera's freezing.
But the fan's still going.
Ah, yes. Good call there, Drax. Good job. Nice. So, you know, and one of the things that's very interesting, like when we first started talking, you know, you guys sent me you sent me the audio clips and some of the stuff that was going on and get my opinion, and it was really interesting. But things kind of like progressed, you know, like afterwards, after, you know, I made the first initial video, and then suddenly you guys had an event where you got trapped into your house. Do you care to talk about that a little bit?
We've had instances where we've had rocks thrown up in our yard. This is when things started progressing. And it's to the point, I don't think they meant us any harm by doing that. I think they wanted to let us know that they were there. I think if they really wanted to mean us any harm, they would have hit the house with the rocks. But I found some pretty nice sized boulders just sitting in my yard out of nowhere from the top of the mountain. And you could tell they came from the top of the mountain because the way the mud and from the springs and stuff up there, it's really wet up on top of that mountain. Mm-hmm. And you could tell they came from up there around my spring.
Right.
But yeah, we have found several rocks. We have found a small tree that was thrown up in the yard. We have found 4 or 5. I've got the rocks. I've got a whole pile of them up here on the porch. I'll show them to you when you get here. But yeah, we got a nice little collection. We found I had 3 rocks that were laying on the ground right underneath the kitchen window that were in a perfect triangle.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just placed there in a perfect triangle. I thought that was really cool. I didn't think nothing of it. you know. But it seems like it's now they know that we know they're up there. They're starting to show themselves more,
Right.
and that's what I find kind of amazing about it. And it makes me want to dig in deeper and learn more about them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've heard of people mind talking with them and everything else, and it's really got me curious. I mean, if they're that curious about us and they wanted us to know they're there,
Mm-hmm.
then there's a reason. There's got to be a reason. You know, maybe they're saying, okay, you know, we know you got to come up here. We've been watching you. We know you have to come up here to your spring. We're going to let you come up here, but you got to remember we're up here too. So just respect our area. We'll respect yours, kind of thing.
Right.
And I think that's why, and it's gotten to the point now to where whenever I go up there, I talk to them, even though I don't see them. I let them know I'm up there.
Mm-hmm.
And I let them know what my intentions are. Okay, this is why I'm coming up here. I'm up here to make a video of just the surroundings, or I'm up here to check on the spring. You know, as long as I go up there and I leave them gifts occasionally. I'll leave them gifts. I'll leave them a little bit of fruit, leave them peanut butter. We left them a tumbler one time. It's hanging up in a tree up there on top of the mountain now.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And, but yeah, it's really interesting, and it's really that's why I'm psyched up about you coming, because I'm really curious. So
yeah, I am too. Do you know what I'm talking about though, with barricading you in your house on the porch?
Oh, the back of the porch where it got off.
Oh yeah, where it moved our garbage cans. Yeah, I got up one morning and went to go outside to let the dogs out, and couldn't get out the back door because they had moved my garbage cans and barricaded us in the house where we couldn't go out the back door.
Yes, that is the one that I was wanting to talk about for sure.
Yeah, that scared the piss out of me. I'm gonna be straight up honest with you, because I ain't never had that happen. And I've got trail cams, and that's the thing. I got trail cams set up everywhere, but the trail cams didn't catch anything. I was expecting to catch a bear or maybe some coyotes up on the porch moving the garbage cans around, but no, it didn't catch nothing.
Right.
And that's another thing. Trash cans were full. And I was actually going out to let the dogs out, and then I was going to load trash cans up and take them to the dump. And I'm like, how? How did they move them? Even I had a bucket of salt. I had a 5-gallon bucket full of rock salt for the ice. Right. And it was barricaded in front of the door. And it was full. So, yeah, they're letting themselves known. They're letting themselves be known, but in a nice way.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that.
And Jenny, I looked over. We were sitting out by the fire one night, and I looked over at Jenny, and her face was just white. And her eyes, I'm like, what did you see? And she said he was just standing right up there at the wood line looking at us. And then he disappeared. So it's, I don't know what their defense mechanism is, how they make themselves disappear like they do, but they're here 1 second, next second they're gone. Just like you see the videos. You know, people can see them and they catch them in the videos, and then the next minute they're not there no more.
Right, and you see nothing move or whatever. It's just
exactly. It is so weird. It is so weird.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely quite the trick for a monkey, in my personal opinion.
Right.
Yeah, so it's interesting, and if I go down the path of juvenile behavior, thinking about what we were just talking about with them putting stuff in front of the door, I mean, if I take my own mindset like out of it and look at it from like different eyes, it seems like kind of like the hijinks that a juvenile would get up to.
Exactly, like just like the rocks laying in the yard, and the tree laying in the yard. It wasn't a big tree, but it was. You could tell something placed it there.
Right.
And you could tell it's the juveniles just out there messing around.
Yeah, very possible. Very possible. It's interesting, and yeah, I mean, we can't emphasize it enough about how excited I am to get out there. So sorry. But yeah, man. So what has been going on like recently? What's been the most recent of stuff that's been happening out there?
Recently, we've kind of calmed down on sitting outside.
Mm-hmm.
We've had some burn bans in the area, so we haven't been able to sit outside with a fire. So whenever they do lift the bans, we go out there.
Right.
But here lately, we need to start going out there again, especially now that leaves are going to start falling. I definitely want to start going out there. By the time you get here next month, the leaves should be gone, and we should have a clearer view up on the mountain. So
I hope so. That'll definitely make my life a lot easier.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
Oh, did you get a night scope?
Yeah, I've got 2 night vision cameras, and I just got a thermal.
Okay. Awesome. You got snake boots?
No, not really.
I don't use them, but you might need them. I don't want you to come up here and get snake bit.
I'm not too worried about that. I wear steel toe boots that come up pretty high, so I'll be fine. No worries.
All right.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a killer time out there. I can't wait. So now, there's the Bigfoot activity is kind of recent, and weather's changing, and there's only so much time that you guys can really spend out there. And I guess the best way to kind of transition off that is to say that there's more to come, folks. More to come.
There is a lot more to come.
You're right. I'll be putting some stuff out there, and I have a feeling in the future that you'll be putting some stuff out there too.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely keep going up on the mountain recording, because I'm actually really curious about any new structures up there on the mountain now. But I'm waiting until you come. So
right.
I'm going to hold off till you get up here to even go up there.
Right. Sounds good. All right. So with all that stuff being said, let's kind of shift gears a little bit here. Now, you'd mentioned a little bit of the paranormal activity from when you were young. So if you don't mind, let's kind of start walking into that a little bit.
All right. That's it. This kind of really touchy subject, because most of the paranormal experiences that I've had was actually caused by extraterrestrial experiences.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I'm just a magnet to that kind of stuff. Don't know why. I know it ain't my good looks, but when I was 8, my dad used to have to go out in the yard. He'd go check. My dad would walk through the house and check on us every night. And my dad had to go out in the yard one night and get me out of the middle of the front yard. I'm standing there in my pajamas, in a trance. Doors were locked, windows were locked. And brought me back in. Well, from that point on, always had things happen. When I got older, and it jumped all the way up till I'm in my 20s, out of the military. And that's when things really started picking up. Seemed like everywhere I went, we had some kind of paranormal activity going on, and not knowing why. It's like no matter where I lived, I always had some kind of ghostly thing going on. Well, skipping another 25 years up till now, when we lived in Florida last year, we had some stuff going on, and a lot of paranormal activity. We were hearing phantom whistles out of nowhere through the house. People coming over getting scratched. Orbs, size of softballs going through the house. All kinds of paranormal stuff going on. So we called a paranormal group to come and check it out and see what was going on. We couldn't figure out what was going on. Well, they came out, they checked out the house, and they're like, well, they brought a medium out with them. And the medium walked through the house. She says, there's nothing going on in this house paranormal. She said, everything that's going on that they think is paranormal is coming from Mike. And they pulled out a trimeter. And I don't know if y'all know what a trimeter is. It reads the electric currents in the air.
Right.
And but the base reading was a 7 on the trimeter. The base reading was a 7. They went around to everybody and touched them with it. It stayed at a base reading of a 7. but they got around to me, and it jumped up from 7 all the way up to 70.
Oh,
Yeah, and
that's
that was before. Yeah, that was before they even touched me with it. So everything that was happening was calls from me, which is they actually got MUFON involved because there are some extraterrestrial experiences that I've had in my past.
Right.
And the way MUFON explained it was I've had some kind of traumatic experience during one of those times that opened up this window in my brain, which caused psychokinesis, which means if I don't watch my moods and my feelings, then I can make things happen. And it just so happens when we were having all that, and after they said that, I looked back at every time in every house I lived in where I had some kind of paranormal activity, and everywhere I've lived, I was either in a bad marriage, a lot of stress, something where my stress level was sky high.
Right.
And I never knew a person could do that with their brain and not even know they're doing it until they explained it to me.
Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely recorded cases of that.
I never heard of it until they explained it to me. And they're like, yeah, you not only do I have psychokinesis, but I'm also a very sensitive empath. I can't be in large crowds. I get all discombobulated when I'm in big crowds as far as my emotions go. Right. I'm a very sensitive empath, plus I'm a medium. And so the medium part I've learned to turn off because I don't want no part of that. I've since I found out, I've had some experiences and I didn't like them. And so I've learned to turn that part off on my brain. But the empath, the sensitive empath, I have no control over. It's just, I can be watching and seeing somebody cry on news and I break down. I just soak it all in.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, that's everything that's ever happened paranormal. All this high strangeness was actually calls from me, calls from extraterrestrials. So it's all one big vicious circle if you think about it.
Yeah, and it's interesting that all these things are kind of happening to you. This is one of these threads that I talk about on the show. That connects things and we pull it and we're like, okay, so you're having ghost stuff, UFO stuff, alien stuff. You're having now Bigfoot stuff. It's like, kind of like in my case, I feel like we should have been struck by lightning, right? Like these, from the way that the world kind of views this, like from typical mainstream, like, from, I guess, our corner of the paranormal, people are just like, oh yeah, paranormal. The rest of the world's like, oh, okay, y'all crazy. But like on our end of things, like these are things that are not supposed to be connected,
right?
But or I mean, I guess that's like the way TV puts it because they focus on the subject, the storyboard, right?
With the paranormal group that came down and investigated for us down in Florida, they started looking at things totally different. Instead of just focusing on paranormal, they started focusing on the extraterrestrial. And everything else, because if you think about it, I mean, they're all three the same. I mean, to me, they are. I mean, if I look at my experiences, my paranormal experiences calls from my extraterrestrial experiences. Okay, and it's like I said, it's one big vicious circle. It's hard to explain. It really is. I rack my brain sometimes trying to figure it out, trying to put the pieces together.
Yeah, for sure. I get it, man. I
don't believe that extraterrestrials come from space. I believe they come from portals under the ocean. Speaking of portals, I've had experiences laying in my bed, sleep paralysis, and not being able to move, but I can move my eyes and look around. My partner at the time, she's laying here next to me, sound asleep. and I got 3 7-foot tall, bluish gray looking aliens with black jumpsuits standing around my bed, and I can't move. And then next thing I know, they all turn around. They open up a portal in my wall in a mobile home, opened up a portal in my wall and walked through it and disappeared. And then I could move. So, and that's why I don't believe they come from outer space. I believe they come from portals.
Oh yeah, I'm with you on that 100%.
I believe they come from portals. So I don't care what other people think. It's just, I don't believe there's an outer space. I really don't.
Me too. Me too.
And I believe there's other dimensions, not outer space. I believe outer space is outer dimensions.
I agree. I'm with you.
And I believe that's where all these come from. I believe that's where cryptids come from. I believe that's why Sasquatches, you can see them 1 second, next second they're gone because they're step right through a portal.
Yep.
You know, it's
go ahead.
It's weird. I mean, really, and this is the way my mind works anymore since I found out all this about me for the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
For the last 2 years, this is how my mind's been working. Just trying to figure things out, trying to figure out life, trying to figure out the world. I mean, it's actually brought me closer to Christ. You know, my last experience, my last extraterrestrial experience I had waking up, I told you the story earlier today, waking up in the middle of our wardrobe room, soaking wet. 1 minute I'm sitting on the side of the bed getting ready to go to sleep. The next minute I'm standing up in the room soaking wet, and nowhere else in the house is wet except for where I'm standing.
Right.
How did that happen? And that right there, that was the last straw for me. I'm like, there's got to be something else. There's got to be something to stop this.
Yes.
And me growing up in the church, it actually brought me closer to Christ. And since I have been going back to church and got baptized again, things have calmed down. You know, as far as the paranormal and extraterrestrial, I don't know about the Bigfoots, but I'm fixing to go out there here probably the next couple nights and check it out just to see anything going on out there.
Right. You know, and, you know, I on, you know, how would I say this? You know, I hate it that you had to have an experience, you know, that was the last straw, you know, like, granted, like, I'm glad of the results of you getting back, you know, closer to, with your relationship to God, you know, but it always breaks my heart when someone's like, you know, this is the last straw, I have to make a change, you know, because, you know, for me, you know, I'm very empathetic as well. Like, I can relate because I remember that experience for me too, you know, and it breaks my heart because I know how hard it was for me to, you know, just have my reality shattered so much to where it's like, I've got to make a change, you know. But like I said, I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did. You know, welcome to the club, brother. I appreciate that. You know, it's awesome.
You know, I figure, you know, like I said, I believe they're interdimensional demons. I don't believe they're aliens. And if that's what's been bugging me all my life, what else can I do?
Yeah.
But get closer to Christ.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. And there's people at MUFON that would tell you the exact same thing too about these aliens, but yet they're afraid to report it, but they all know about it.
You know, and you know, people want to talk about demons in hell, torturing you in hell. The worst experience I've had.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up one morning, my daughter was living with me at the time. And woke up one morning, went and got my coffee like normal, sat down, started watching the news, drinking my coffee. My daughter said, well, what's wrong with your wrist? What'd you do to your wrist? I'm like, what are you talking about? I looked down at my wrist and I've got about a 2-inch by 1-inch rectangular piece cut out of my arm, out of my wrist that had been cauterized over. Mm-hmm. No pain, no blood. I got up, I looked at it, I'm like, I don't know what happened. I got up, pulled the bed sheets up, no blood on the bed sheets. But the weird thing was, even though I felt no pain, I carry the scar to this day. But even though I felt no pain, 2 weeks after I woke up with that, it blistered up. Like it was a burn.
Yeah.
It blistered up, and that's when I felt the pain. 2 weeks. After waking up with that.
Now that's very interesting.
Tell me about it. Now, why would say aliens did do it or demons did it? Why would they want a piece of my meat? Why would they take a hunk of meat off of me? Unless they were torturing me and I'd forgotten about it. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, two things. First, can we see the scar?
Let me see if I can get it up here close enough. I see right.
Yeah, I see some scar tissue. Yeah.
Right there. And it's still almost a perfect rectangle.
Right. Okay. Now, as far as like the second thing goes, I mean, why would they want a piece of you? You know, do you know what your blood type is by chance?
When I was in the military, it always said A positive on my dog tags. So
okay, so probably A positive. So all right, so we can scratch off, you know, RH negative, you know, that strangeness that goes along with that. So we can scratch that off. You know, what I would say is, you know, probably something to do with just being able to have like a genetic tissue to be able to do something, you know, because
I got some other stories that I really don't like talking about. It kind of tears me up talking about them, but it kind of gives me a clue as to why they took a piece of meat from me.
Okay. Well, I mean,
why they wanted my DNA, but I just don't like talking about that situation. It's kind of one of those stories that tears you up when you talk about it.
Well, that's fine. We don't have to go there. I'll just keep chasing the squirrel I was on instead of you talking about that, you know. But, you know, I was going to say is, you know, I feel like just with my own research on this stuff, you know, like once, you know, the fallen angels, you know, fell or whatever, you know, and they make their children, you know, their children have a lot of the same powers, but, you know, they're only half, right? They're only half divine, half human.
Right.
So, you know, they would have learned how creation works, you know, because, you know, their parents were there, or well, at least half of their parents were there, you know, the angel half was there when God created everything, right? Like, so, you know, if they come from a spiritual realm where God exists, and then they see how God creates this, you know, them being in the same realm, it's kind of like me watching somebody computer code, right? Like,
right.
I understand what you're doing. I might not know like the intricacies of all the coding that you're doing, but I have a general understanding of it. Like, because, you know, I'm coming from some of the same perspective, right? So if they have this knowledge, pass it on to their kids, and their kids are like, okay, how do we do that then? Like, we want to make a chimera or something, or, you know, a hybrid of something of a human. Like we can't exactly just, you know, take it like in the same way that you guys do. Like, awesome, cool. This is the way that reality works here on Earth. And you can accomplish the exact same thing by the use of technology. Build this, do this, bada bing, bada boom. All of a sudden, you know, you're doing something that is essentially CRISPR, you know, but probably way more advanced. I mean, where did we get that knowledge
Your
from?
volume's all messed up.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you were sounding like a robot.
Oh, my bad.
There for a minute.
My bad. Well, what I was saying is that, you know, if their parents tell them, hey, this is what you need to do to accomplish the same thing, you make technology, right? So with this technology, you're essentially doing a CRISPR, like a gene editing thing. Like you'd be able to take the genetics, harness it, and then do whatever it is that you want to do with it. You know, you can't act fully on the same level as what we would, because you're not fully a spiritual being like we are. Therefore, you have to conform to some of the laws of physics in this reality, like if that's making sense. You know, that's why people report technology. You know, there's nothing new under the sun. Like all this stuff comes from somewhere, you know, and, you know, just looking at the way things were built, back thousands of years ago, like with the megaliths and all that, like you can look at just that stuff and be like, yeah, there's definitely some technology that's being
back during Tartarian times.
Right, yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, I know about Tartarian times. I've done some research in that. I'm pretty fascinated with it.
Yeah, it's a fun little rabbit hole, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Mud flood, hiding everything.
Right.
Losing 1,000 years of history.
Yeah, there's
we go down that rabbit hole one day.
Sure.
I've been down it.
Awesome.
The Tartarian, I think Tartarian time was awesome. I would have loved to have lived back then because their technology was far greater than what we ever have.
Yeah, yeah.
I believe it was. I believe during the flood, their technology was far greater than ours. I honestly do.
Oh yeah.
I believe it was a great reset. The whole Noah flood was a great reset, and their technology was far superior than ours is, and that's why the Bible says, "As in the days of Noah, so shall it be when he returns."
Exactly right. Yep.
And where are we headed to right now? We're headed right back to the days of Noah.
We're
already there.
You know what? And one of the interesting things about those times is you could basically walk right up to a Nephilim and be like, "Hey, what's up?" Have a conversation because they were everywhere. And so things.
What's your take on the giant trees?
Oh, I'm all about that.
Mountains look like tree stumps.
Yep, 100%. 100%. I think they're trees. You know the Bible talks about that, right?
Oh, I know. It tells them to cut down the trees.
Yeah.
To kill the giants.
Daniel. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, man. I like that stuff. I'm 100%.
Sent the angels down to cut down all the big trees. Ain't that how it was?
Yeah, he sent down a watcher angel to cut down a very large specific tree. Yeah.
Yeah. See, a lot of people see that this is all the stuff the government's been hiding from us since. I remember, and I was telling Jeanette this. That this is going to end your show really well.
I have questions
the other day. I remember back when I was in grade school.
Yeah.
Back in the early 70s, Antarctica was known as the Arctic Circle. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
When Antarctica was known as Arctic Circle. Now it's just Antarctica.
Right.
Okay, so you think about it. Now, an Arctic Circle, what does that tell you? That tells you there's an Arctic wall around the... I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole right on your show.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm with you. Things be whack, yo.
When you break it up.
I said things be whack, yo.
I know, right?
Right. All right, but before we end that, I do actually have a couple of questions, if you don't mind.
No problem.
Awesome. All right. Now, with the portal experience that you talked about earlier with the 3 extraterrestrials that you saw, right. Were you able to see in the portal?
All I could see was black where they walked through. That's all I could see. But I was laying on the bed flat, and all I could move was my eyes. So all I could see was the edge of the portal and blackness where they walked through it. As far as looking into the portal, no, I couldn't see exactly what was in there.
Okay.
All I could see was a black ring, the outer edge of the black ring.
Very interesting. So I guess that means you couldn't tell like a shape of the portal either, right?
No. All I seen was it open up. I seen a portion of where the wall opened up, and then they walked through. So
now, how would you describe these things looking like?
These were about between 6 7 foot tall. Tallest one was probably about 7 foot. Very slender, long arms, 3 fingers and a thumb. And their skin tone was a bluish gray, but more blue than gray. It was a really grayish, more blue than gray. Almond-shaped eyes and a very small slit for a mouth.
Mm.
And the three of them were just standing around my bed. And then I opened my eyes and seen them standing around the bed. And then I seen all three of them walk off to the left, walk right through the wall. And then the paralyzed, I was able to move after that. And that's not the first time I woke up paralyzed like that with sleep paralysis. I woke up one time paralyzed laying on a cold table with a tall gray reptilian and a short gray standing around me, and I couldn't move. But somehow, I don't know how it happened, but I broke free from the being paralyzed on their table and sat up. And there's a longer story to that. I have to tell you some other time.
Sure.
It has to do with the investigation we had. I can't say nothing about it on here because of some certain things. But anyway, when I sat up on the table, the reptilian looking one, greenish brown looking, scaly looking, ran me back down on the table. As soon as I hit the table, I woke up in my bed.
Yep. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. That has to be one of the scariest times. Just actually seeing him like that and having him touch me like that and push me down. It was just like, and the weird part is I'm sitting there and I'm looking at him, and the language that this reptilian was speaking, they did a Gansfeld during the paranormal investigation. And she brought up during the Gansfeld, she brought up a lot of my extraterrestrial experiences. And that's what brought up the whole extraterrestrial thing. Experiences in my life is they were like, okay, so why is all this extraterrestrial, these alien visions coming up in our heads while we're doing this Gansfeld? So, and then she started hearing this language and started repeating this language. And I broke down in tears. And I recognized that language right off the top of my head, even though I hadn't heard it in years. And I'm like, that's what that reptilian spoke when it slammed me down on the table. And but yeah, it's weird.
Did she say what that language was? Like, did she have a name for it?
No, she just kept hearing it over and over again through the headphones, and she just repeated what she was hearing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Now, as far as that goes, just a question for like my own curiosity. Do you remember what the eyes of the reptilian looked like?
Not really. I mean, this happened within just a couple seconds. I mean, I was laying on that table. I couldn't move. And I was forcing myself to try to sit up. And finally I sat up, and that's when he grabbed my chest and slammed me back down. Yeah. And I woke up in the bed. As far as looking him in the eyes, I didn't look directly in his eyes. I couldn't tell you what his eyes looked like.
Okay. All right.
If I did look in his eyes, I don't remember.
Right. Yeah, I had something like that happen to me with my one of my CE5 experiences. When I very first wanted to try to make contact with Lacerda, because I was inspired by the story too back in the day, and that's who I wanted to talk to. And the very first reptilian I talked to, was, I guess, for lack of a better term, like a sentry or something like that was pulling some kind of guard duty that stopped me, as I was astral projecting. And that's exactly what it did to me too, is it pushed me, my astral form, whatever, out, and as soon as it pushed me, like I woke up and I was like, the heck? What was that? You know what I mean?
So what did it look like?
So it's the same kind of thing. Like when I saw it and Lacerda, like, man, I don't know how to explain it or why it was
this
like this, but like
this one was greenish brown, had dark green with brown tint to it. Real scaly, had big broad shoulders and a big thick neck.
See, I didn't get to see all of that. It was like everything was blocked out, like all I could see was like just this banded portion of their face. And
right.
That's why, like, when I did when I redid the Lacerda
That's
files,
interesting.
when I did the Lacerda files on mine, I did that exact same look to her because that's all that I saw. But you know, like his and her eyes, it was like the eyes of Sauron, you know, from Lord of the Rings in the tower, you know.
Right. Yeah, the
Looked like
snake
that.
eye.
Yeah, and it was dark green scales with like brown tint, kind of like in the middle of each scale, kind of looking thing. It was strange.
Wow,
I wouldn't say.
that is so cool that we've seen pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, and when I say brown, it's not like, you know, brown. It's
No.
like kind of khaki-ish, almost kind of color, almost.
Right.
Yeah, you know,
Wow,
that's what I
that is
remember.
so cool. That is so cool.
I remember like all the like the eyebrows, you know, being kind of like larger scales, you know, kind of like a
Spiky
dermal
looking?
ridge. Well, not really spiky, but just kind of pronounced, like big, you know, like almost dermal ridges on a crocodile, but without the points. You know, just kind of big bumps with big scales on top of them. That's
okay, I was thinking dragon like.
No, that would be more interesting, but
would
no.
it? I wish I would have paid more attention to the eyes of the one I seen. But I might have, but I might not even remember.
You're not missing much. You're not missing much, man. That's one of those kind of images, you know, that is kind of burned in my brain.
I tell you, one thing I won't forget though is the smell.
Oh,
the awful smell. And then the only time I've ever had that awful smell is waking up on the hard table with reptilian in the gray and the little short gray.
Yeah.
That's the only time I ever remember the smell. But it was the worst smell. I don't know which one of them it was, but one of them was just, oh my Lord, it was bad. It's like a sulfur and garbage mix type smell. It was bad. I'll never forget it. Every once in a while, what's weird is every once in a while I'll still get that scent.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, just out of the blue, I'll smell it.
And
it
only similarities?
It only lasts for a few seconds. I'm like, what just happened?
Right. So, what are the similarities? Like, where do you smell that at?
You mean where am I at when I smell it?
Yeah.
I could be anywhere. I've smelled it in the house. I smelled it outside. I was up on the mountain getting a load of wood the other day with Daryl, this older dude, Daryl, and I got a whiff of it just out of the blue. And we was up in the woods on the mountain, and
that's interesting.
Yeah, I got a whiff of it. And I'm like, wow, you know, the sulfur garbage smell.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Next question I have. Now, when you've seen orbs in the past, was there a particular color that they all were? Were they multiple colors? Like, do you remember any of those?
Orange. Yellow, orange, more yellow than orange. Me and Jenny both were sitting in our living room down in Florida, and we had an orb shoot right through the living room, come right through the living room window, and come right through the house, went all the way through the house and disappeared. I've seen orbs go through the house and just turn into a shadow figure.
Yeah.
We've had that. Me and Jenny both have seen that happen several times when we were down in Florida. Orb comes through and just turn into a shadow figure, and then next thing you know, it's gone.
Right. And they're all yellowy orange kind of color.
Yeah, like a yellow orange, more like a white yellow orange, kind like it looks like it would be hot, but it's not hot kind of color.
Maybe like warm white, as in light bulb color?
Warm white. Let's put it that way.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, bro. You're tickling my tism. Yep.
Yeah, well, here's another experience me and Jenny had down there, and where this came from, I do not know. Well, I know where it came from. We're sitting there watching TV one night down in Florida, and a horse neighing right there in our living room. Don't know where it came from. We didn't come from the TV because what we were watching on TV had nothing to do with horses or outside or anything.
Right.
Oh, yeah, phantom whistles. We just sitting there and just hear a whistle come from the back of the house.
Yep.
The whistles we hear here come from outside. We get phantom whistles from outside all the time here. We know what that is. That's from the Sasquatches
Most likely.
whistling down at us. Like at night, if we're walking in front of the kitchen window and the window's open, it'll whistle at us. Just let us know it's there watching us.
Yeah. No, thank you. No, thank you.
I know it is creepy though, ain't it? Just knowing that hey, there's something out there watching you.
Yeah. That's when I go out there with the Bible and a pistol and start doing a Zach Baggins. Come at me, bro.
Now we did one night we were sitting, we had the couch in a different position where we could actually look out the kitchen window from where the couch was sitting. You could see out the kitchen window, and we heard a whistle come from outside, and we both looked over and looked out the window at the same time, and it was looking in the window at us. Now, our window outside, you'll see when you come up here next month, you'll see where I'm talking about. Outside that kitchen window is like 7 foot. A good 7.5 foot where this thing's head was. That's how tall our windows are on our house. And it was standing outside the window watching us. It whistled at us, let us look at it, and then it turned around and called tall tale. We both were shocked. We got on the phone and started calling people. You're not going to believe what just happened, you know? Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, so I'm reenacting the meme. So anyways, I started blasting. Pa-pow, pa-pow. You know, that's me. That's me. I'm shooting through the window.
What the? Whew, that's better. Clear skies again.
I don't care.
But you know what? I don't think I would ever try shooting at any of them.
Yeah.
As long as they're not aggressive towards me, I'm going to be cool with them. You know, I'm going to keep the peace.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. You got to live with them.
If they want to hold a conversation with me and mind speak, I'll hold a conversation with them. If they partake, I'll partake. So, but
yeah, sure. I mean, that's fair. That's totally fair. All right. Just
making a little joke there. Trying to have a little humor to all that horror.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I'm trying to get back to my questions, but all these squirrels are just popping up, and I'm loving it. You know,
keep asking questions, and
yeah, I'll have to play Attack of the Squirrels at some point in time during this interview. But so okay, back on subject. All right. So my next question that I had was on the UFOs that you've seen. How did they look to you?
The first UFO I ever seen, and this was when I was before my dad picked, and this is where I think it all started from, is me and my dad back in the 70s, early 70s. This was like 74. I was like 6 years old. And we were outside adjusting the TV antenna. I was outside with my dad while he was adjusting the TV antenna. You know, you had to go out there and turn him, and mom in the house going, hey, right there, you know. Right. And we had a great big cylindrical shape UFO pass right over the house at treetop levels, completely silent.
Yep.
Didn't make a sound. It had a big red light on the end of it. And I remember that. And me and my dad stood there and we watched it go all the way over the house, over the top of us. And then it was about a year after that is when my dad had to go get me from outside in the middle of the night. So tell me that's not a coincidence.
I mean,
the other UFOs I've seen, most of the UFOs I've seen have been orbs, great big orbs.
Yeah.
In the sky. Me and Jenny actually got some nice pictures of some more of an orb that we had right outside the house here. The last year I've got them. I'll have to send them to you. But I took a picture of the orb. I took a video of it, and then I took a screenshot and broke it down. Oh, it's beautiful. The colors inside of it, almost like a rainbow. Yeah, it was. I'll send you pictures.
Yeah. I know I've seen some of your footage on that before, but I don't know if it's the same one or not. But yeah, definitely send it. We'll add it. We'll add it for sure. Okay.
But mainly, besides that one cylinder, that's the only physical spaceship I've ever seen. I haven't never seen the triangles or anything like that. Mainly orbs. Orbs is what I see most of.
Yeah, same with me. Same with me. I've only seen one that looked like a physical craft, and it was like a highly polished silver disc. But the rest of them have all been orbs, and it's probably because all of them that I've ever seen were at night, whereas that one was during the day. So
I've got a rabbit hole for you to go down.
Okay.
Go down a rabbit hole with the Nazis back in World War One.
Oh, Nazis. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, back in World War One, they had spaceships back then. The Nazis did, not the bells. Not the bells.
Okay.
They actually had spaceships. You go down that rabbit hole, you'll be amazed.
Yeah, yeah.
You know the whole conspiracy about the Nazi base on the moon? Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
Shaped like a squash, that's actually real.
Yeah. Right.
Go down that rabbit hole.
Okay. Tempt me with a good time. Why not? Why not? Especially World War One. I love that era. Like that history is so fascinating to me.
I'm telling you, Hitler and them, they might have been in the genocide and all that, but they were smart. They weren't a bunch of dummies.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, like even in their own words, when they were like asked, like, where did you guys get this from? And they always say the same thing. We had help from them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah.
They've been in cahoots with the reptilians for centuries, decades.
I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it at all. But anyways, so man, I had a lot of fun chasing squirrels. Did you?
I did. This has been great. I really enjoyed it.
Me too, man. All right. So before we get off of here, just plug everything that you want to plug one more time for me, bro.
Don't forget, mysticalmountaincreations.com. Website will be going up 3 weeks, 4 weeks, maybe, hopefully. Hopefully, go on there, order some tumblers. You can get custom made tumblers like this one here, however you want them, or you can get ink tumblers.
Mm-hmm.
Like that one there. Whatever you want, we can do it. If you want pictures put on them, if you want in memory of tumblers, we can do that too. I just made this one in memory of Charlie Kirk.
Heck yeah.
So look us up. Look us up on Facebook. Look us up on TikTok, Mystical Mountain Creations. You can see some of our work there. You can DM us on Facebook or TikTok if you're interested. Until we get our website up, y'all can just order from TikTok or Facebook.
Heck yeah. Awesome. Well, Mike, I appreciate it, man. I loved it. Had a lot of fun. So
I did too. You. And don't forget, $5 from every tumbler we sell goes to kids with autism.
That's right.
Every cup.
Awesome. Heck yeah. All right. Well, bro, hang out in the green room and I'll be right back. Okay.
All right, brother.
All righty. Wow. Like I said, pretty interesting stuff going on. I mean, it runs the gambit. I mean, it really does. I mean, we've got Bigfoot activity. We have ongoing UFO activity. Some ghostesses are thrown up in there. I mean, shoot, when I was out there, I'm stepping away with, the impression that I think there's even some Fae activity going on out there, and there's just so much. And, I can't wait to get out there again because we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of activity, a lot of fun, and there's just so much more. There really is. Like, y'all don't even know the half of it, and once again, I want to hit on community. Guys, make sure you all go to the Facebook, give them a like, check them out on the TikToks, all the social media stuff. And if you want a cup, go get you a cup. I have my cups there. If you want like some of like my merchandising, my prints on a cup, yeah, go get you one. Go get you one. But you don't have to necessarily go there and do that and get, my stuff. Go out there and get you whatever you want. They'll make anything. And that's the beauty of it. It really is. Like, I ain't making nothing on that. And I don't want to. I want to help my friends. I want to help community. If there are people that are, just in the scene, genre, whatever you want to refer to it, outside of using the word community, which, whatever. Anyways, you know what I mean? Like, the people that are out there and involved with the things that we like and do, go support them. It's a small business, and the proceeds to go and do good stuff. Like, why not? Go get yourself an excellent piece of drinking hardware. You know what I mean? Like, it's a no-brainer. They're awesome. They are awesome. I encourage you guys to, if you guys do a podcast and you have merch, go hit them up. Be like, hey, I want to give you a copy of my print so we can, like, connect my sales sort of to you guys and help be a part of something cool, something awesome, be a part of community, right? Like, go do that. Get in contact with them. Do that. But yeah. Guys, and let me just kind of back up a little bit, thinking and talking about like what's all out there, to some people, it's kind of like a, wow, all that's going on over there. That's crazy. Like, not really. No. Because how many times do we gotta just have confirmation? It's all connected. It should be no surprise at all that it's there. It's all connected. I don't know what to tell you. I don't make the rules. I just live here just like you guys. You got to open up your eyes and be like, what? I'm going to look into that. I can only try. I can try to help you guys out with that. I do try, obviously. But yeah, it's all connected, guys. It's all connected. There's a lot going on out there in this crazy world, and I hope you guys have all liked, subscribed, drop a comment, hype after this is done. Go do the stuff for me. I would appreciate that. We're trying to grow the sucker. We're trying to get out and do more fun expeditions like Enigma and the Mystic Mountains is. Buzz. English is hard sometimes. And now I'm waxing. Anyways, the point, all the proceeds that happen here, it all goes back into that, go buying equipment and being able to afford to go out there to the field and do stuff and try to bring some of this stuff to you guys. At the time of this drop, let's see here, Enigma in the Pines, which is the expedition to Bankhead, will be dropping very soon. And then, Enigma in the Mystic Mountains will be followed very shortly by it. So, it's a good time. I love getting out to the field. And yeah, there's also going to be another little thing too about the LBL coming up too, because I had time to go out there with Relic and do a little bit of filming for myself. I don't know if I'm going to give it quite the Enigma classification, but I don't know. We'll see. I do have a lot of footage. I'm not sure how I can maneuver that around. We'll see. But yeah, guys, I love you. I appreciate each and every one of you guys out there, please go do the things and go give Mike and Jenny some love. And yeah, if there's anybody that you guys want me to have on, feel free to reach out and let me know, and I'll see if I can't make it happen for you. I'll see if I can't do something. And make sure, if you guys liked the music that's in this episode, go to the store and buy it, because you know the soundtrack for this episode, it's there, 99 cents, not even $1. Make you holla, as we say here in Alabama. Anyways, yeah, go do the things, and I love you. And tookie tookie. Peace.
Mystic mountain, into the deep and dark hole, until the goal I know we're not alone, but the mountains are home, and they can sing with us. We will go to them, back into the dead, until our cups overflow. Onward through this lonesome valley, over the river stone. Onward we go until the gold overflows. Then we'll return to the mountain home. I know we're not